Every year, Car and Driver comes out with a list of the top 25 best-selling vehicles in the United States. And every month, starting right now, I will be putting together what these vehicles will lease out for from month to month. Now, just some quick disclaimers. This is for January 2024. It's assuming we're talking about 2024 model year vehicles. All the leases are 36 months, 12,000 miles a year. The deals are assuming that you're paying your fees and taxes up front, assuming a 720 FICO score or better. And just lastly, as a reminder, guys, I'm just some guy on YouTube putting together some calculations and giving you some estimates. With that, let's dive right in. Coming in at number 25 on our list, the Ford Escape. Right now, within 100 miles of me, I've got about 475 Escapes available. 195 of those 475 are active all-wheel drives. The MSRP I've got picked out is $30,840. And according to all my favorite resources online, the invoice price on this Escape would be around $29,665. It's got a 53% residual and a 0.00227 money factor. At full MSRP, it would lease out for about $541 a month, and at invoice, it would be around $505 a month. Number 24, the Subaru Forester. Locally, we've got about 1,785 available, about 400 of which are premium all-wheel drives. The MSRP I've got picked out is $31,640 with an invoice of $29,764. It's got a 63% residual and a 0.00228 money factor. At full MSRP, it would lease out for about $442, and at invoice, it would be around $386. Coming in at number 23, the Mazda CX-5. Within 100 miles, there's about 1,130, 231 of which are 2.5S preferred package all-wheel drive. The MSRP I've got on mine is $32,025 with an invoice price of $31,259. It's got a 62% residual this month with a 0.00201 money factor. At full MSRP, it leases out for $442, and at invoice, about $419. At number 22 is the Jeep Wrangler. We've got about 346 units locally. Not many units, 90 of which are Sport S 4x4 Unlimiteds. The MSRP I've got on mine is $37,190 with an invoice price of $36,170. It's got a 72% residual and a 0.00299 money factor. At full MSRP, it leases out for $480, and at invoice, about $449. At number 21 is the Subaru Crosstrek. Right now, my local dealers have about 1,062 of them available, 317 of which are premium all-wheel drives. The MSRP on mine is $27,690 with an invoice price of $26,233. It's got a 68% residual and coincidentally, again, a 0.00299 money factor. At full MSRP, is $385, and at invoice, it's $340. Coming in at number 20 is the Subaru Outback. We've got 869 units available near me. Right now, there's 287 limited all-wheel drive. Mine has an MSRP of $32,540. It's got an invoice price of $30,644, a 61% residual, and a 0.00138 money factor. At full MSRP, would lease out for about $424, while at invoice, it leases out for $369. At number 19, it's the Toyota Highlander. There's only 335 Highlanders within 100 miles of me right now. There's about 133 XLE all-wheel drives. Mine has an MSRP of $43,665 with an invoice price of $39,987. It's got a 62% residual and a 0.00261 money factor. At full MSRP, it would be about $645, and at invoice, it would be about $533. At number 18, it's the Ford Explorer. Right now, there's only 707 of them within 100 miles, about 264 of which are XLTs. All of them pretty much are 2023 still. Ford is having a little bit of trouble moving 2023s right now. The MSRP on mine is $40,165 with an invoice price of $38,622. It's got a 55% residual, and for this one, it's at 39 months. A 0.00106 money factor, so at full MSRP would be about $562 a month, and at invoice about $488 per month. At number 17 is the Honda Accord. Right now, there's 484 Honda Accords within 100 miles, 368 of which are EXs. The MSRP on mine is $31,005 with an invoice price of $29,403. It's got a 58% residual and a 0.00305 money factor. At full MSRP, it would be about $511, and at invoice about $461. At number 16 is the Honda Civic. There's only 533 available within 100 miles, 256 of which are sports. Mine has an MSRP of $26,645 with an invoice of $25,179. Mine's got a 64% residual and a 0.00223 money factor. At full MSRP, it would be about $363, and at invoice about $319. At number 15 is the Hyundai Tucson. There's only 369 within 100 miles, and 181 of which are SEL all-wheel drive. Mine has an MSRP of $31,025 with an invoice price of $29,839. It's got a 63% residual and a 0.00109 money factor. At full MSRP, it's $373 a month, and at invoice, it's $339 a month. At number 14, it's the Chevy Equinox. 729 available, 279 of which are LTs with one LT all-wheel drive. The MSRP is $30,890 with an invoice of $29,533. Mine has a 60% residual and a 0.00140 money factor. At full MSRP, it's $412, while at invoice price, it's about $372. At number 13, it's the Toyota Corolla. Only 264 available. Again, that's locally. There's about 157 LE front-wheel drives. Mine having an MSRP of $22,995. The invoice is about $21,373. It's got a 57% residual and a 0.00205 money factor. At full MSRP, it's about $348, while at invoice, it's about $300. Just want to give you guys a heads up that in the description below, you're going to find various resources to help you with a bunch of car buying tools, from finding prices online to getting offers on your used vehicle. There's a ton of stuff available in the description below. At number 12, it's the Tesla Model 3. Now, mine has an MSRP of $46,830. However, there's not much information available publicly on Tesla Model 3s. All I can tell you is that the website tells us it's about $602 a month paying just your taxes and fees do it start. That's all I got for you on the 3. Coming in at number 11 is the Toyota Tacoma. There's about 210 near me, 52 of which are TRD off-roads. Mine has an MSRP of $44,980 with an invoice price of $41,783. It's got a 57% residual and a 0.00335 money factor. At full MSRP, it comes out to $773, and at invoice comes out to $674. At number 10, it's the Jeep Grand Cherokee. There's 3,000 within 100 miles of me right now, 1,600 of which are limited four-wheel drives. The MSRP on mine is $50,025. Jeep says the invoice price is $49,060. However, you definitely want to pursue way more than this, probably about a couple grand more. It's got a 54% residual and a 0.00032 money factor. Plugged in at MSRP, it comes out to $642 per month, and at invoice comes out to $615 a month. I would probably pursue about $550 a month if I were you. At number 9 is the Nissan Rogue. There's about 2,109 Nissan Rogues left, and all of them are 2023s. Within 100 miles of me. I've got an SV all-wheel drive picked out, and mine has an MSRP of $31,100. The invoice is about $29,429. It's got a 61% residual and a 0.00217 money factor. At full MSRP, it's $445 a month, and at invoice comes out to $395 a month. At number 8 is the Toyota Camry. There's about 442 available within 100 miles, 183 of which are SC all-wheel drives. The MSRP on mine is $29,055. The invoice is $26,539. It's got a 54% residual and a 0.00217 money factor. At MSRP, it's $468. While at invoice, it's about $393. Coming in at number 7 is the GMC Sierra. There's 1,073 within 100 miles. MSRP on mine is $56,700. Invoice is $53,355. It's got a 65% residual and a 0.00252 money factor. At MSRP, it's $787. While at invoice, it comes out to $686. At number 6 is the Honda CR-V. There's 682 Honda CR-Vs near me, 375 of which are EXL all-wheel drives. Mine has an MSRP of $36,160 with an invoice price of $33,907. It's got a 63% residual and a 0.00160 money factor. At MSRP, it comes out to $465, and at invoice, it comes out to $399. Coming in at number 5 is the Model Y. I'm sorry, again, not too much information for you here. A $56,000 Model Y would lease out for roughly around $722 a month. At number 4 is the Toyota RAV-4. There's 523 RAV-4s near me, 219 of which are XLE all-wheel drives. MSRP on mine is $31,335 with an invoice price of $29,387. Mine's got a 61% residual and a money factor that's 0.00285. At MSRP, it comes out to $484, and at invoice price comes out to $423. Number 3 is the Ram 1500. There's 1,284 Ram 1500s near me, 285 of which are Laramies. Mine has an MSRP of $55,780 with an invoice price of $52,123. Mine's got a 55% residual and a 0.00013 money factor. At MSRP, it comes out to $708, and at invoice comes out to $606. At number 2, it's the Chevy Silverado 1500. There's about 1,727 near me. 673 of them are LT 4x4s. Mine's got an MSRP of $52,395 with an invoice price of $49,421. It's got a 64% residual and a 0.00177 money factor. At MSRP, it's $676, and at invoice, it comes out to $588. Last but not least, it's the Ford F-150. There's 1,404 leftover 2023s within 100 miles of me. I've got an XLT picked out, which there's still 600 of them, with an MSRP of $51,975 and an invoice of $48,727. It's got a 56% residual and a 0.0006 money factor. At MSRP, it comes out to $686, and at invoice comes out to $594. Again, you guys, plenty of resources in the description below, from shopping around on cargurus.com to getting pricing from local dealerships. Check the description below for tools that could help you save some money on your next car. If you found this information useful, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.